Hello my dears, and welcome back to my corner of the internet. I'm Shannon, and tonight I've got another spoiler-free book review to share with you guys. And tonight we are talking about Vanishing World by Sayaka Murata. Now, back in January, I believe I read Earthlings by this author, and while I could appreciate what she was doing, that one didn't quite work for me. It was a little too dark. And I gave it 3 stars, but I saw this one on NetGalley and I grabbed it because I know I've heard a lot of people saying how much they loved Convenience Store Woman, also by this author. So I was like, okay, let's try this one and see how it goes. So basically what we have here is a kind of alternate universe Japan, and things work a little differently there. And family units and marriage specifically work very differently there. What has happened in recent years is instead of children being conceived in the normal way through intercourse, they're conceived by artificial insemination. So when you hit puberty, there's a special contraceptive put into both the men and the women. And then when you're ready to have a child, you go and you're artificially inseminated. In the meantime, you're looking for a spouse, a partner, and you get married if you want to have children. So you get married, but those relationships aren't sexual in nature at all. In fact, it's looked at as incestuous to be intimate with your spouse. So what you're finding here is the family units, it's like they're family, like it's almost like a sibling relationship. It's, you know, someone you're bonded with, who you spend a lot of time with, and who you want to raise children with. But it's the relationship is not sexual in nature at all. That said, you're welcome to have boyfriends, girlfriends, lovers on the side. That's fine. But with your spouse, absolutely not. And I guess the sort of idea behind it is that you create this sort of unbreakable bond with the person who you choose to spend your life with. And the things that sometimes get in the way, like infidelity or, you know, no longer being attracted to one another, doesn't really come into play because those things were never in place in the first place. It's wild. This book is wild. It didn't get as dark as Earthlings, I will say that. It's very weird, it's very strange, but it doesn't go too far, in my opinion, the way Earthlings did. So, I'm trying to think. It's short. It's like 250 pages. It's a very quick read. So basically, yeah, you're working within these family units, and we're seeing how for one woman, how that goes for her. And then there's more to the story of, like, there's a experimental city going on, which we learn more about that, which I won't say too much because that's kind of a thing that comes in towards the end of the book, but it's very interesting as well. So yeah, it's about, at its core, it's a book about loneliness and social isolation and what it means to be a family, what it means to be a parent, specifically a mother. And it also has a big element of parasocial relationships and how weird and toxic that can get. And I thought it was very interesting. This author, so this book was originally published in Japan in 2011, and it's still very, I feel like it's probably even more relevant now than it would have been back then. Incredible. So this one comes out April 15th, if it sounds at all interesting to you. I will say it is so cold. I'm sitting in the living room, and there's a door here that leads out into the backyard. It's so cold out that, like, I can feel the cold coming through the door. Anyway, it's minus like 34 out right now. It's crazy. Anyway, what was I saying? But yes, I enjoyed it. And like I said, it didn't go as dark as Earthlings did. So if you read Earthlings and you were like, this one, it doesn't take it so far. Because with Earthlings, like, I love dark stories. I read a lot of horror, a lot of thrillers, a lot of deeply weird books, and I love that. But it's the type of weirdness that was in Earthlings that it made me too uncomfortable. It's about young children and their cousins, and just, it was too much for me. This one, I was like, oh, this one is much, like, it's still weird, it's still dark, but it didn't go too far in my opinion. There is a scene at the end, and while I understand what she was saying with this, like sort of the notion that when the things that feel instinctual to us are taken away, we will go to extreme measures to be able to satisfy those instincts. So I get it. It just is so, what happens is so off-putting. It is so off-putting. And it's going to knock it down for me. I was going to give this one 5 stars. I think I'm going to give it a 3 or 4 just because of that. I guess a 4 because of that ending was so, it's the same kind of thing that happened a lot in Earthlings that I just can't stomach. And there's a lot that I can deal with, but this particular thing, no, not things like this involving children. It's too much. So keep that in mind. But I thought it was very interesting look at the world, at birth rates, at what will humans do to get what they need, and hopes, the ways they try to make a family work better. And is it better? Is it worse? Is everyone losing their minds? Have we all gone crazy? What's going on here? Is the gist of how I felt when that book ended. But I enjoyed it. Anyway, now I'm getting ready to, as soon as I hit stop on this video, I'm going to pick up the new Grady Hendrix and read him. And I'm hoping to have a book talk video for that one up on Wednesday. Either Wednesday night or Thursday morning. Anyway, I hope you had a good weekend. It's Monday here, but it's still the weekend. It was a long weekend here. Anyway, and I hope you have a great week. And I will see you all again real soon. I guess if you made it this far, leave a baby emoji. Bye, guys.